Which are the most tough teams Pakistan is expected to encounter? What Pakistan's strategy should be?
Pakistan ODI team in white ball cricket is one of the stronger teams in the world. I think we have a very, very good chance of qualifying for the semi-finals.
How ICC works, many of the people who takes decision where the Champions Trophy will be taking.
What happened is that a few years ago, the big three, as they are called, England, Australia, and India, you have to understand that in today's world of money, unfortunately, 70% of ICC revenue is derived from India. So naturally, India calls the shots.
Why India creates issue out of the box? Is the security issue is genuine or it is created?
There should be no politics in sports. And I think that's very, very sad and is bad for the game. There is no security issue in Pakistan. All the major countries of the world have come and played in Pakistan. England has come 3 times. Australia has come. New Zealand has come twice. South Africa has come.
What do you think about PCB? How it could be kept free from politicization?
PCB should be a corporate independent governing body.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Inside in V News English. Dear viewers, as you know, February 2025 is very, very important in Pakistan. That is because Champion Trophy is taking place, where a number of teams will be playing in different cities of Pakistan. And it is hosted by Pakistan Cricket Board. But decision to hold Champion Trophies taken by ICC. But important thing is many of the people doesn't know how ICC works, how decisions are made in ICC, how funding is made into ICC, and how ICC take decisions which are free from political involvement and certain prejudices. In today's discussion, we will also explore how Pakistan Cricket Board works, how selection of cricketer is done, and how cricket diplomacy is conducted. Whenever we talk of cricket, so then it comes to our mind India and Pakistan. And whenever there is India and Pakistan match, India always refuses to play on Pakistani soil. Why it is so? Is security issue in Pakistan is genuine or it is created? India always try to sabotage matches. Why matches are politicized by India? To discuss this all, today we are fortunate to have with us former chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board, former chairman of National Commission on Human Development in Pakistan, Dr. Nasim Ashraf. Dr. Nasim Ashraf is the person who headed Pakistan Cricket Board from 2006 to 2008. And recently he has written a marvelous book. And in this book, there are a number of pages, number of chapters on related to Pakistani cricket. And we will also like to have some of his past memories on cricket diplomacy and things. Dr. Nasim Ashraf, sir, very warm welcome in program Inside in V News English.
Thank you.
And we will begin this ICC Champion Trophies due this month in Pakistan. So first tell us how ICC works. Many of the people don't know the working of ICC, its management, its administration, its funding, who makes contribution, who takes decision, where the Champions Trophy will be taking, and things like that.
Well, as you know, and you correctly pointed out, ICC is the world regulatory body that manages or is supposed to control and run the affairs of international cricket. In the ICC, there are full members, which are 10.
Which are 10.
Yes, the test 10 playing nations.
Leading nations.
Yes, and then there are associate members. So the revenue is divided primarily first for the test playing nations and then later for the associate members. ICC's main source of income or revenue are media rights.
Or media rights.
Media
That
rights.
is the main source of
That
income.
is their only source of income. And they derive that income from holding events such as the World Cup for T20, World Cup for 50 overs, and now the World Test Championship as well. And then they have other events, women's cricket, men's cricket. In addition, they have cricket tournaments for the associate members, regional tournaments,
True.
or qualifying tournaments.
True.
So basically, for example, this World Cup, the figures for the media rights can go into billions of dollars.
It's a huge amount.
It's very big amount, and that is what ICC manages, and it distributes that amongst its members. That's how
Income is distributed among the members.
but it's not distributed evenly.
This is what my question was.
Right.
Why it
And-
is so?
Well, what happened is that a few years ago, the big three, as they are called, England, Australia, and India, you have to understand that in today's world of money, unfortunately, 70% of ICC revenue is derived from India.
70% of the revenue of ICC comes from India.
Comes from Indian sources.
True.
So naturally, India calls the shots. But at what expense? That it hurts the thing about cricket. And that is why the top three countries few years ago, although they have reversed that decision now, but they came up with a formula that they would get the majority share and they would play amongst themselves, and the other people would be reduced to like a second tier. They themselves realized that that didn't work. So I would say that ICC really is the major issue.
ICC itself is a major
issue. ICC management, the way
And you call it biased.
the way ICC has become a handmaiden for Indian cricket. It's not good for cricket. And I think that is what ICC needs to actually reevaluate and think through how they can actually promote cricket and do it in a fair way.
Yeah. Do it in a fair way. So, coming to this particular, you said that funding 70% comes from India. But whenever there are matches between India and Pakistan, like Champions Trophy, this time too, India created an issue, refused to play on Pakistani soil. Then ultimately issue was settled, and now Indian-Pakistani matches will be taking place in UAE. So either it is Champion Trophy or some bilateral matches. Why India creates issue out of the box? Is the security issue is genuine or it is created? And quickly connected to that, whenever Pakistani team travels to India, so it is not warmly welcomed. There are slogans, things like that, which doesn't reflect nicely as far as this sports culture is concerned.
Yeah, I think that's very unfortunate. First of all, there should be no politics in sports. There are events that have to take place, ICC events, and Pakistan has always, as you said, traveled and played in India.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, India over the last few years has refused to play with Pakistan anywhere. And I think that's very, very sad and is bad for the game. There is no security issue in Pakistan. All the major countries of the world have come and played in Pakistan. England has come 3 times. Australia has come. New Zealand has come twice. South Africa has come. So what is the issue? If there was a security issue, they would be the first ones to not come to Pakistan.
Exactly.
But it has not been. And Pakistan has always assured, and the ICC security teams have passed Pakistan. Unfortunately,
Pakistan, exactly.
Yes, they've cleared Pakistan. So the main issue is that the Indian board falls back on this pretext and false claim that their government does not allow them. And the government is obviously...
Actually, it is not the story.
This has nothing to do with cricket. This is trying to bully Pakistan. And I think that's the thing that should not happen in cricket.
That's true. Now coming to cricket diplomacy. Over the last many decades, we have seen whenever there is any sports event between India and Pakistan, but mainly cricket, that brings India and Pakistan closer. people enjoy, they cherish, and there is people-to-people contact. But again, talking of this negative Indian role, so it is always politically influenced, this particular thing. So how would you like to say that the role of this cricket diplomacy in bringing India-Pakistan together?
I think this is a major thing that in 2002 to 2008, when we were involved, and at that time, India-Pakistan had very good relations diplomatically.
True.
And I think when India team came to Pakistan twice, first time I think they came in 2002 and then again in 2004. Pakistan went in 2005 and Pakistan again went in 2007 when I was chairman. And the response of the people on both sides was electrifying. The Indian cricketers themselves said, and Indian fans who came to watch the game said that whenever they would go in Lahore, Pindi, wherever, Peshawar also they came.
Amazing.
That people would refuse to take money from them in restaurants, in shopping centers.
This is what the love and hospitality of Pakistani
this was also
nation.
repeated for Pakistani cricketers in India. So I think it is sad that such a thing can be then used by the government. And in this case, unfortunately, it's been used by India.
Particularly these extremist Hindutva under that Hindutva policy by BJP.
Well, in those days also, BJP did not have this policy. This is more of a policy by the present Prime Minister of India.
He's more biased towards this.
He not only is biased, but I think that his actions extremist actions.
Exactly.
He is literally, with his Hindutva philosophy. Unfortunately, he has made that also into cricket and trying to, as I said, bully Pakistan. So I think that this thing, the world body of cricket should see this. And I'm happy that this time, the PCB stood its ground and made a clear stand that if India refuses to come to Pakistan for the Champions Trophy, then next year and next year after that, whatever ICC tournaments Pakistan has to play in India, we will not play. And ICC accepted that and put it in writing. Pakistan has the hybrid model, but Pakistan has made sure it is reciprocal and it is bilateral. And that equally they will be both treated equally. In other words, as you said, it's not that Pakistan will go and travel and play in India. No, we will not go. We will also go and play in UAE, just like they are doing it now for the Champions Trophy.
So in the past, we have seen there have been a series of reports in Pakistani and international media regarding the negative role of the cricketers, that they take money in advance and they deliberately make poor performance. And why it is so, despite good payments, despite there are ethics in cricket, is it deliberately, or there is no check and balance, there is no oversight? Why these malpractices take place in international cricket?
Well, it's very sad, very disgraceful and very shameful. But I'm happy to tell you that I don't think that there is any more match fixing or taking money going on now. But the epicenter of betting and match fixing is Bombay.
Is match fixing center is Bombay.
They are the epicenter. Okay, but various teams have been involved. Unfortunately, Indian players, Pakistani players,
fixed in
South African in old days, not anymore. ICC did one good thing. This is not now, but 25 years ago, ICC created an anti-corruption team. It was led by the chief of Scotland Yard. And he was appointed full-time
to keep an eye on these things,
to monitor everything. And we were in our boards, our new players who used to come, they would be given lectures in Urdu, in Pashto, in cricket.
That do not fall in these practices. To be warned that
if you get a call from a bookie,
this is what the
you
issue of
just
bookies.
Don't do anything. You call and immediately contact the PCB. True. Or your home board. So this thing, unfortunately, in the past led to players being tempted, because the money was too good, unfortunately. But that was also spot fixing, full match fixing like it used to occur. in the 90s.
Spot fixing and match
fixing. But spot fixing was later when some Pakistani players, including the captain, unfortunately, who was a bright star. I mean, in my time also, I don't want to name him, but he was one considered to be a captain for Pakistan, and he was a captain. But anyway, unfortunately, then they had to go to jail. And it ruined the careers of players like Muhammad Asif and other Amir as well. So, unfortunately, this match fixing was there. It's now no more.
Is no more?
No more.
Confirmed.
No,
match fixing doesn't exist
yes.
now.
No spot fixing is possible. I don't think so. We have always maintained internationally that India should legalize betting. Why they don't legalize betting? In that case, then people can bet like they do in England. I'm sorry,
True.
They bet in America, they bet in South Africa, Australia. It's legalized through a store, but not the way Indian bookies were running scams.
That's good. You said that it doesn't exist anymore now. Coming to Pakistan Cricket Board and the players who are part of Pakistani national team, two aspects. One, PCB itself, in all successive political governments, there have been strong political influence. Sometime incompetent people were appointed, and that ruined Pakistan's top cricket body. So what do you think about PCB? How it could be kept free from politicization?
We have always maintained, and when I was appointed, I was given a specific task.
And you have also background of cricket.
My orders were to make PCB a corporate body. And we did that. Just to give you an idea, this was at that time revenues of billions in rupees, and there was no internal audit committee even.
True.
So we appointed, and I think PCB should be depoliticized. It should be run as a completely independent corporate governing body with representation from the regional associations, which is a must. Representation from past test cricketers who should form a cricket committee, and then representation from people who know what in today's world, how about media rights? How do you sell them? I'll give you one small example.
Media rights issue.
It's very important, Mateen Saab. What happened was that in 2007, we were coming up for renewal of our media rights. And in the past, in 2003, the chairman at that time had sold the media rights at a very good price at $40 million. And when in 2007 it was renewable, as we were looking, we didn't even have the expertise to see what should be our rights. So I hired a sports media lawyer from London. And that value was put at $140 million for the next time that PCB sold. So the point is that we need experts on that governing board. And I think they have them now. There should be, we had the president of National Bank, the secretary general of finance, chairman of the NAB, all of these people.
So they are in the board.
On the board. So there was a 13-member board. Point I'm trying to make is that PCB should be a corporate, independent governing body.
That's true. So what about the politics involved in PCB in selection of cricketers? So please also put light on this, how cricketers are selected. There have been critical issues. There have been also strong criticism that not the right people were selected into the national team.
I think there is some truth to that. But by and large, I'll tell you how they are selected. What happens behind the scenes? There is a national selection committee which is for the senior team, which is for the Pakistan team.
Pakistan team, national team, exactly.
That is the senior selection committee. Then there is a junior selection committee, which is for the under-19 team.
True.
Then there are selection teams for each association, like Peshawar has their own selection team. Pindi, Islamabad, Lahore, all the different regions. There are 13, and the departments too, which play a most important role.
True.
And I think department cricket should continue. I am in favor of that. I think that the selection process, first of all, in a lighter vein,
True.
every Pakistani feels that he is a selector.
Every Pakistani feels
They think that they can select a team better than the professors.
This current one.
Be that as it may, it shows the love for cricket.
Okay.
Cricket is the most unifying factor
it's in the
Pakistan.
heart and minds of the people.
It's more than a religion in Pakistan. And people who have written books on this. And I think that, so selection, there can be some hanky-panky, but now it has become very difficult, Mateen Saab, to do hanky-panky. You know why? Because I think people have record in front of them. So you cannot just bring somebody. If you, I think correctly now, you should base your selection on performance in your first-class domestic cricket. But there also are certain intangible things. It's not just averages. That Nasim Ashraf has scored 600, so he must be put. That is in first-class domestic cricket. International cricket and the pressures of playing international matches is very different. So you need also temperament.
Temperament is necessary.
Temperament and technique are the two things.
True.
So if you can score runs, that's good. But you've seen many, many Pakistani players who come at the junior level and A level and under 19 level. But when you take them to the national team, they flop miserably.
True.
Pakistan has a unique selection system. We don't go like the British or the Australian teams where people who are, they have to go up the ladder and they go through the mill and it takes them a long time. It's very rare for a 16-year-old ever to be selected to play for England. Australia, for the first time now, selected an 18-year-old, and it was world news. But Pakistan, from the time that we started in 1951, has been putting in 14-year-old and 15-year-olds who have completely dominated cricket. Like, the Muhammad brothers, Hanif Muhammad, Mushtaq Muhammad was 14 years old when he played for Pakistan.
Exactly.
Against the likes of Wesley Hall and Gilchrist and these people. Similarly, Pakistani other players, Wasim and Waqar and Inzamam. They were all, very, very young players, and they were taken right from club cricket into national cricket.
True.
And, obviously the credit for that goes to the person who saw in them.
Why it has been so that once upon a time, Pakistan's national sports were recognized at international level. We used to bring gold champions trophy to Pakistan, be it could be cricket or hockey or for squash or for many other sports fields. Why these old sports are falling down?
This is the saddest thing because, as you said, in the 50s, Pakistan had world-class athletes.
Exactly.
They would win gold medals in Asian Games, in Commonwealth Games, and also, in wrestling and boxing and other things. And then something, over the next 30 years, it just dropped. I think it's simply, the world has changed. There is more emphasis on technique and stamina and grooming. We never invested in sports. Today,
we never invested
in sports. Today, for example, to earn a gold medal, the investment is about $10 million. And it's not, it doesn't, to win a gold medal, you can hire coaches. How did Nadeem Butt win a gold medal?
Arshad Nadeem.
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. I apologize.
No problem.
Arshad Nadeem won a gold medal because of his,
coaching, exactly.
And so, training and investment. He had to have some coaches, although his main coach was from Pakistan, which is very good. So I think investments are required, and our national boards for sports have not invested. And I think that's why Pakistan has fallen behind, even small little countries who win many gold medals.
Afghanistan.
Pakistan
has been losing from Afghanistan.
In
cricket, I'm talking. Pakistan lost to United States, really.
Yeah, I think that was the saddest part. But that I would not entirely blame the players. It was an issue of management and governance. you had 4 chairmen in 3 years, 17 selectors in 3 years. How can you have a team?
That's true.
That's why you lost. It wasn't, the team did not know what they were doing, where they were going or where they were coming.
Now coming to this current Champions Trophy. So give us your analysis. Which are the most tough teams Pakistan is expected to encounter? And in the second part, then I will put the next question that what Pakistan's strategy should be. First, one of the toughest teams.
Okay, first of all, you said, what are Pakistan's chances of...
Exactly.
Okay. So we are in A group, and I think in this, we have India, New Zealand, and Bangladesh.
India, New Zealand, Bangladesh.
Because in Champions Trophy, only 8 of the top 10, 12 teams play Champions Trophy. Only 8 teams. We are the champions of the Champions Trophy because we won the tournament in 2017 in England.
Exactly.
And I especially flew from Dubai overnight to watch that game because it was the 27th of Ramadan, I remember. Anyway, so today now in this Champions Trophy, we have India, we have Bangladesh, and we have New Zealand.
New Zealand.
And I can tell you that the Pakistan ODI team in white ball cricket is one of the stronger teams in the world. I think we have a very, very good chance of qualifying for the semi-finals. 2 teams from each group will go into the semi-finals. So if we win 2 matches out of 3, obviously if you win all 3, you're through. But if 2 teams will go out of 3, I think that Pakistan and India would be my favorites to make it to the semi-finals. They should both go through to the next round. Now, in the next round, then it's a knockout system. And if you play well that day and you play to your full potential, you will win. Anybody can win that day. It's just a knockout game. My hope, and I think even some Indian commentators and people I respect, cricketers like Gavaskar and Shastri, they have also already indicated that India and Pakistan, and India can never be ruled out. They are very strong contenders to win the tournament. And if you remember how we won in 2017, we lost the first 3 matches. We were almost out of the tournament. And so then everything changed.
Everything changed. So team should do what?
I think
keeping in view this scenario.
I think the team, it's basically everything is in the mind.
The team has been announced recently.
Yes, I think it's a good squad. It's a good squad. I have seen. I think they've done a good job of. We have 4 fast bowlers who are the 4 fastest in the world in Shaheen Afridi, Nasim Shah, Haris Rauf, and Hasnan. I think we have a good batting team.
What about captain?
Oh, I think the captain today, in my opinion, is the best captain for Pakistan in all formats. Rizwan is a fighter. Rizwan understands cricket and he is a unifier. He brings people together and he's very bold and very brave, and I think that the team will do well with Rizwan as the skipper.
What message will go across the world when Pakistan hosts Champion Trophy and Pakistan will be showcasing its tourism, its hospitality, its traditional food, its traditional love, its art, its culture, please?
I think Pakistan has always been one of the finest hosts. I'm not saying this because I'm a Pakistani. Anybody who has come to Pakistan has loved the hospitality and the warmth of the people of Pakistan. They go out of their way. On the street, they'll stop somebody and they will give him and offer him food or anything. People from all over the world who will come to this Champions Trophy, I can assure them that they will have a memorable, warm stay in Pakistan, and they will enjoy not only cricket, but they will enjoy true Pakistani warmth and hospitality. And I think that this is evident. You will see this, because we have noticed this, how our spectators, our fans are so neutral and impartial that even in a match between a foreign team and Pakistan, they applaud and they clap for the foreign team as well. They enjoy really their cricket. And I think that was...
From the core of the heart.
I think they really enjoy cricket from the core of their heart.
Another thing of... the cricket has been majorly focused on only in major cities. And if you have been to villages, far-flung areas, even the pitch is not up to the mark, you will see children playing cricket. Question is now, why this sports infrastructure has been neglected massively by all successive governments? It could be any field of sports, but particularly at the village level, union council level, there should have been cricket teams, committees, and boards.
I think that's an excellent idea. There are plenty of first-class grounds, but you're right. That is at best at a district level. We need to go down even lower,
Exactly.
and have more academies. For example, now actually we started it, the Multan Academy. Besides Lahore was the only academy which was started in General Tawqir's time.
True.
And then it really became an international standard academy. We had the only country outside of Australia that had the machine to check for throwing, for action of the bowler.
True.
PCB Gaddafi Stadium, because I imported that from Australia. I think we need to invest in infrastructure, because without that, as you exactly correctly pointed out, district level is not good enough. We need to get down, right, like English football, that there are clubs at the village level, and they have a proper ground to play. We need the same for cricket, and also we need the same for hockey, and we need the same for other sports. Because if you see Pakistani players, the talent in Pakistan for sports is second to none.
Second to none. True.
And I think we just need to have an enabling environment. And let me just one thing, I really want to say, sports, but particularly cricket, is the greatest social equalizer. It brings people from very humble, very modest backgrounds. And I salute them, because they can compete with people from Oxford University and the top colleges of the world. And these kids haven't even finished high school. So
Street cricket. Exactly.
And I really, really respect that spirit. So the talent that we have is unmatchable. We can do much more by investing. I think we need to invest not just money, but with money we can have proper human resources.
Because
ultimately,
very, very important.
My field is human resource development.
Exactly. This is a wonderful book. Anything extraordinary you have written related to the cricket diplomacy and memories, please share precisely.
Well, there were a couple of things. One was also about Champions Trophy of 2008. It was supposed to be held in Pakistan. I was the chairman of PCB. And England and Australia and to some extent South Africa started saying that Pakistan security situation was bad and they would not travel. Mateen Saab, I can tell you that when a conference call was held to decide that, and I was still there before my resignation 2 months later, India came out and said in the conference call, the chairman of BCCI, Mr. Sharad Pawar, who became a good friend, he came out and said in the conference call that if...
In 2008. True.
He said that if the Champions Trophy is removed from Pakistan without the consent of Pakistan, India will not play. This is the kind of relationship we had. And we supported them when before IPL, they had an Indian league that was CCL. And we banned every player not to go and play there, because this was not sanctioned by the Indian government, by the Indian Cricket Board. In the past, there have been many chairmen and many other PCB officials who have been very successful. And I think that I'm also happy that this chairman of the PCB has stood his ground and made the ICC recognize that the India-Pakistan relationship has to be equal. And we will not go to India next year or the year after if India... So that has been decided, and I am happy about that.
Last thing to ICC Champion Trophy in Pakistan, what will be your message, being a former boss of PCB, to the Pakistani team?
I think message to Pakistan cricket team, just go out and play your natural game. If you play with your hearts, we have always beaten teams based upon our talent and without being worried about any stress or anything. If you play to your full potential, go out and enjoy, and you will do well.
Well, the message to the Pakistani cricket team is go, enjoy, and play naturally, and ultimately you will win. And in addition to this, former chairman of PCB said that investment has to be done on human resource in sports and on infrastructure. And unfortunately, there has been no investment on human resource and sports infrastructure in Pakistan. Thank you so much, Dr. Nasim Ashraf, once again. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Allah Hafiz from Studios.